What if Rey was reincarnated Anakin? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Rey's fingers touch the lightsaber. The universe explodes. She's standing in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. She's 9 years old. No, she's not Rey anymore. She's Anakin Skywalker, and she remembers everything. Every battle, every friend, every kill. The youngling's faces as her blade falls. Padme's final breath. The fire on Mustafar consuming her body. 20 years in Vader's mask. She remembers being the monster. Rey screams and collapses in Maz Kanata's basement. She's not just seeing someone else's memories. She lived them. She was him. She was Darth Vader, and now she has to live with that. This is the moment everything changes. For weeks before this, the dreams had been getting worse. Rey would wake up screaming on Jakku, her shelter's metal walls echoing with names she'd never heard. Padme, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka. She'd see a temple burning. Children dying by her hand. A woman with brown hair reaching out as she choked. Fire. So much fire. But she didn't understand what it meant. Not until Maz's castle. Not until the lightsaber. Now she understands everything. And the weight of it might destroy her. When Finn crashes into her life, Rey is almost grateful for the distraction. Running from stormtroopers, fleeing in the Millennium Falcon, all of it pushes the nightmares away for a moment. She can focus on survival. On helping this defector and keeping BB-8 safe from the First Order. She doesn't have time to think about the dreams or the growing sense that something ancient and terrible and powerful is waking up inside her. But even during the escape, things feel wrong. When she climbs into the Falcon's pilot seat for the first time, her hands move to the controls with practiced ease. She knows which lever controls the auxiliary power. She knows the exact angle to bank for maximum maneuverability. She pulls off moves she's never practiced, flying like she's been doing it for decades. Finn stares at her in shock. How did you do that? I don't know. I just knew where to go. It felt like muscle memory, but I've never flown anything like this before. But that's not quite true. Part of her has flown ships like this. Part of her has flown through asteroid fields and death runs and impossible battles. Part of her knows every creaking bolt of Corellian engineering. When they're forced to crawl through the ship's guts to release the poisonous Rathtars, Rey finds herself critiquing the modifications someone made to the hyperdrive. Han Solo notices. You know your way around ships. I've worked on them, scavenged parts. But this is different. It's like I can see how everything connects, how it all flows together. Like I've rebuilt this exact ship before. Han's expression grows strange, but he doesn't comment. Then they arrive at Maz Kanata's castle and everything changes. The moment Rey steps inside, she feels pulled towards something. A presence calling to her from below. She tries to ignore it, tries to focus on the mission, on getting BB-8 to the Resistance. But the pull grows stronger until she can't resist. She descends into the basement, drawn by a presence she can't explain, her feet carrying her forward even as her mind screams at her to turn back. There in a wooden chest that looks ancient and holy, she finds it. A lightsaber. The moment her fingers touch the cold metal, the universe explodes. But this isn't like the dreams. This isn't fragmented images and sensations bleeding through sleep. She is standing in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. She is 9 years old and Master Yoda is testing her. She is 13 and sparring with other Padawans. She is training younglings, their faces bright with admiration. She is fighting in the Clone Wars, her lightsaber a blue blur as droids fall around her. She is standing before the Council, frustration burning in her chest as they deny her the rank of Master. She is holding Padme in his arms. No, in her arms. In Anakin Skywalker's arms. The name crashes into her consciousness like a tidal wave. She remembers everything. Every battle, every friend, every mistake, every moment of joy and despair and rage and love. She remembers the sand of Tatooine grinding between her teeth and the cold halls of the Jedi Temple where emotion was meant to be suppressed. She remembers Obi-Wan's patient teaching and his disappointed face when she fell short. She remembers Ahsoka's bright spirit and the pain of her leaving. She remembers Padme's laugh and her final words as life drained from her eyes. She remembers the fear, the all-consuming terror that everyone she loved would die and she would be powerless to stop it. She remembers Palpatine's promises, his gentle manipulation, his offers of power that could save the ones she loved. She remembers saying yes. Oh, Force, she remembers saying yes. She remembers the march on the temple. She remembers the younglings' faces turning from trust to terror as her lightsaber ignited. She remembers their screams. She remembers Obi-Wan's horror on Mustafar. She remembers burning, her body consumed by lava as Palpatine's laughter echoed in her mind. She remembers the mask, the breathing apparatus, the mechanical body. She remembers decades as Darth Vader. She remembers hunting Jedi. She remembers serving the Emperor. She remembers the cold emptiness where her heart used to be. She remembers Luke. She remembers redemption. She remembers dying. And now she's here, alive again, in a girl's body on a planet she's never heard of. With all of Anakin Skywalker's memories burning in her mind like brands, Rey collapses screaming. She's not just seeing Anakin Skywalker's life through some Force vision. She lived it. These aren't visions. These are her memories. She remembers being him. She remembers every choice, every mistake, every moment of darkness. And the weight of it threatens to crush her completely. Maz finds her curled up on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably, her body shaking with the force of revelations she can't process. The ancient being's eyes go wide as she studies Rey's face, seeing something there that makes even her, who has lived over 1,000 years, take a step back in shock. "Child, what did you see?" "Everything." "I remember everything. I was him. I was Anakin Skywalker. I was Darth Vader. I killed them. The younglings. I killed them all. Padme. I killed her too. I choked her. I watched the life leave her eyes. Everyone. I killed everyone." The words pour out in a torrent and Maz listens, her expression growing graver with each confession. When Rey finally falls silent, Maz takes a long breath. "The Force works in mysterious ways. I have lived for over 1,000 years. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have watched the Jedi at their height and their destruction. And I have never, in all my long life, seen anything like this. A soul reborn. A second chance given to one who fell so far. This is unprecedented." Rey looks up at her, tears streaming down her face, mascara running in dark streaks. "I don't want this. I don't want his memories. I can feel his anger, his fear, his capacity for violence. It's all inside me now, waiting. I don't want to be him." "Then don't be. You have his past, but you can make a different future. The choice is yours, child. That's what the Force is offering you. Not a curse, but an opportunity." But Rey isn't sure she believes that. How can she make different choices when Anakin's instincts are flowing through her like blood? When she can feel his anger simmering just beneath her surface, ready to erupt at any provocation? When she knows exactly how easy it is to fall, how tempting the dark side can be, how it offers answers when you're desperate and power when you're helpless? She hides the truth from Finn and Han. She can't tell them. How could she possibly explain? She barely understands it herself. How do you tell someone you're the reincarnation of the galaxy's greatest monster? But as they flee from the First Order, Rey finds Anakin's knowledge bleeding into her actions in ways she can't control. She pilots the Falcon with moves she's never practiced, instinctively knowing how to compensate for the damaged stabilizer. She knows ship systems she's never studied, calling out modifications and repair solutions that leave Han staring at her in confusion. And when they're intercepted by Han Solo's freighter, she recognizes him immediately. Not because she's heard stories about the great smuggler and rebel hero, but because she remembers meeting him in a different life. She remembers him being frozen in carbonite on Cloud City, his face locked in a silent scream. She remembers hunting him across the galaxy. She remembers the guilt she felt even then, buried deep beneath Vader's rage at what she was doing to Leia's friends. The revelation makes her physically ill. She barely makes it through the journey to Takodana, fighting waves of nausea as more memories surface. She remembers the Death Star. She remembers standing on the bridge as Alderaan exploded. She wasn't the one who gave the order, that was Tarkin, but she stood there and let it happen. She felt billions of lives wink out in an instant and did nothing. How does she live with that? How does anyone live with that? And when Kylo Ren arrives at Maz's castle, when his forces attack and burn the ancient structure, when he reaches into her mind trying to extract the map's location, Rey feels his shock ripple through the Force connection like a physical blow. He recoils from her thoughts, stumbling backward as if struck, his breathing ragged behind the mask. You're... His voice is barely a whisper. This is impossible. He sees it. He sees Anakin's memories swirling beneath her surface like a dark ocean. And for just a moment, his face behind the mask shows naked longing, desperate hope, the look of a lost child finding something he thought was gone forever. Grandfather. The word hangs in the air between. Rey escapes using the Force, but it's Anakin's technique that guides her. She doesn't fumble or struggle like an untrained scavenger discovering her power. She reaches out with the confidence of a master, her commands sharp and certain. The stormtrooper's mind bends to her will easily. Too easily. When she duels Kylo in the snow outside the Starkiller base, she starts with raw desperation, swinging wildly as he toys with her. But as the fight continues and her back hits a chasm's edge, something shifts. Decades of experience take over. Her stance changes, feet positioning themselves in the opening stance of Form 5, Xian, the aggressive style Anakin favored. Her strikes become more precise, more economical. She stops wasting energy on wild swings and starts targeting weak points in his defense. She even catches herself about to use one of Vader's signature moves, a spinning slash that flows into a force choke, before she pulls back horrified at what she was about to do. She defeats Kylo, but the victory feels hollow and wrong. She won using his power, Anakin's power, the power of a man who became a monster. She can still feel the dark side singing in her veins, urging her to finish him, to kill him while he's down. It would be so easy. One thrust and Kylo Ren dies. One fewer enemy in the galaxy. But she doesn't. She pulls back, resisting the urge, and that small victory feels more important than the duel itself. When she arrives at Ahch-To to find Luke Skywalker, she's exhausted and terrified and desperate for guidance. She climbs the ancient steps cut into the island's stone, her legs burning with each step, hood up to hide her face. She tries to look small and unthreatening as she approaches the legendary Jedi Master standing at the summit. She extends the lightsaber to him, her father's lightsaber, and waits for him to take it. Luke stares at the weapon, his hand trembling as he reaches for it. His fingers are inches away when he suddenly stops. His eyes snap to her face, and Rey watches his expression shift from grief to confusion to dawning horror. He doesn't take the saber. Instead, he steps back like she's something dangerous. "Who are you, Rey?" "I'm Rey, from Jakku. Leia sent me. I'm here to bring you back. The Resistance needs you, and I need training, and there's so much I need to tell you." "No." Luke's voice is sharp. "Who are you, really? Your presence in the Force." His face goes deathly pale. "It's impossible. I felt him die. I felt my father become one with the Force on the Death Star. He's gone. He should be gone." Rey feels tears prick her eyes. She knows what he's sensing. The same thing Kylo sensed. The same thing Maz recognized. The ghost of Anakin Skywalker wrapped around her soul like a second skin. "I'm Rey, but I remember being him. Your father. I remember everything, Luke. Everything he did. Everything he thought. Everything he felt. I remember you. I remember holding you as a baby before I fell. I remember hunting you across the galaxy. I remember our duel on the Death Star. I remember you refusing to kill me. I remember you believing I could still be saved when I'd given up on myself." The lightsaber falls from her trembling hand and rolls down the steps with a metallic clatter. Luke doesn't speak for a long time. He studies her face, searching for something, his own face cycling through emotions too complex to name. Then he asks questions, rapid-fire interrogation that feels almost cruel. "What did I say to you on Endor before you died? What was my mother's name and how did she die? Where did Obi-Wan first find you? What was the name of the Tusken Raider camp you destroyed? What were Padme's last words?" Rey answers every question. Some she has to dig for, the memories still settling into place in her mind like sediment after a storm. But she knows the answers, all of them, even the ones she wishes she didn't, even the shameful ones, even the painful ones. Luke's eyes fill with tears. "Father," the word breaks on his lips. "I felt you die. I felt you return to the light and become one with the Force. How is this possible? How can you be here?" "I don't know. I've been Rey my whole life. I didn't know I was anyone else until I touched the lightsaber in Maz's castle. Then everything came flooding back like a dam breaking. All of it. The good and the terrible and everything in between. Luke, I remember what I did. I remember the younglings' faces as my blade fell. I remember feeling Alderaan die through the Force, billions of voices crying out and then silence. I remember choking Padme. watching her collapse, killing the woman I loved more than anything because I was too angry and too scared to think straight. I remember all of it, and I don't know how to live with this. I don't know how to be Rey when I have Anakin's memories screaming in my head. You're not him. Luke's voice is firm. You're you. Those were his choices, not yours. You're a different person, but they feel like my choices. I have his memories, his instincts. His anger is my anger now. His fear is my fear. His capacity for darkness lives inside me. Luke, I can feel the dark side calling to me every moment. I understand now why he fell. I can feel how easy it would be to fall again. The fear that everyone I love will die. The desire to control everything to keep them safe. The rage when things don't go the way I want. It's all there waiting. That's why I'm going to train you. Luke's voice softens. Because you're right. You're vulnerable in ways I never understood before. You have all his power, but also all his weaknesses. But you're also my father given a second chance. And I won't waste it. I won't let you fall like he did. Promise me something. Don't give up on me. Even when I stumble. Even when the darkness gets too loud. Don't give up. I won't. I didn't give up on him, and I won't give up on you. But Rey, this won't be easy. I'm going to push you harder than I've ever pushed anyone. Because the stakes are too high to do anything less. The training begins immediately, and it's brutal from the first moment. Luke is harsh in a way he never was with his other students, pushing her harder than seems fair or reasonable. But Rey doesn't complain because she knows what she's capable of. What Anakin was capable of. When she lights the training saber for the first time, her form is perfect. Not the rough movements of a scavenger who learned to fight with a staff, but the refined technique of a master who trained for decades. She moves through the combat forms with practiced ease. Form 5, Xian and Gem. So, the aggressive styles Anakin favored. Form 4, Ataru, with its acrobatic leaps. Even traces of Form 2, Makashi, the elegant dueling form she learned from Dooku before she killed him. Luke watches her move and she can see the pain on his face. You fight exactly like him. Every movement, every stance. It's like watching a ghost. Should I fight differently? I don't know if I can. His muscle memory is my muscle memory now. I don't know where he ends and I begin. That's the problem. You need to find your own path, not his. Not mine, yours. You need to figure out who Rey is separate from Anakin Skywalker. But finding her own path is harder than it sounds. Anakin's presence is overwhelming. His tactical mind analyzing every situation. His force sensitivity allowing her to sense things she never could before. His raw power waiting to be tapped. It's all there, a vast well of knowledge and ability. And the temptation to simply let his experience take over, to stop struggling and just be Anakin Skywalker again, is constant and seductive. During meditation sessions, Rey finds herself arguing with Anakin's memories. They're not separate enough to be true conversations, but there's a part of her that still thinks like him, that wants what he wanted, that fears what he feared. That part whispers to her constantly, use the power, don't hold back. These people need you to be strong. You can't protect them if you're weak. You know what happens when you're not strong enough. Padmedeus, your mother dies. Everyone dies. Be strong, be decisive. Take control. And part of her agrees. Part of her remembers the helplessness of watching people she loved suffer while she was powerless to help. Part of her remembers the strength the dark side offered. The certainty, the power, the ability to impose her will on an uncaring universe. One evening after a particularly brutal training session, Luke finds her meditating on the cliff's edge where the island drops away into churning ocean. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red that remind her of fire. You're afraid. His voice is gentle, always, but not of the dark side. You're afraid of me, of what I might become, of whether you'll have to kill me like the Emperor wanted you to kill your father. Luke sits beside her, his own gaze on the horizon. When I learned Vader was my father, I was horrified. The man who cut off my hand, who tortured my friends, who served the Empire. But I was also separate from him. His choices were his own. His fall was his journey. I could choose to forgive him without carrying his guilt. You don't have that distance. You remember being him. You carry his guilt like it's your own, because to you, it is your own. That's a burden I can't even imagine. I see their faces every time I close my eyes. The younglings, Master Plo Koon, Master Ki-Adi-Mundi, all the Jedi who died because of Order 66 because of me. I remember what I was thinking when I killed the younglings. I was thinking I was saving Padme, that if I just did what Palpatine wanted, if I just proved my loyalty completely, he would teach me to save her from death. I was doing it for love, but all I did was lose everything. I destroyed the person I was trying to save. How do I know I won't make the same choices? How do I know that when I'm scared and desperate, I won't reach for the dark side? Their training continues for weeks, and Rey slowly begins to integrate both identities into something new. She develops her own fighting style, a hybrid of Anakin's aggressive Form 5 and something uniquely hers, more fluid and adaptable. She learns to draw on his experience without being consumed by it, to use his knowledge as a tool rather than letting it define her. She practices making different choices in simulations, facing scenarios Anakin faced and choosing differently. When Luke recreates the moment Palpatine offered power to save Padme, Rey refuses. When he recreates the march on the temple, Rey turns away. Each time she makes a different choice, she feels a little more like herself and a little less like Anakin's ghost. But peace doesn't last long on this isolated island. One morning, Rey is working through a training kata when she gasps and clutches her head. Through the force bond she didn't know existed until now, she feels Kylo Ren. His presence slams into her mind like a battering ram. And he knows. He knows everything. He's had time to process the revelation, to understand what it means. His presence in her mind is a mixture of awe and hunger and desperate need. Grandfather, you're real. I felt you in my dreams. I've been reaching out through our bond and I found you. I found your memories. You've come back to me. Stop calling me that. I'm not your grandfather. I'm Rey. You are Anakin Skywalker reborn. You are Darth Vader returned. Don't deny what you are. I've seen your memories. I've felt your power. I know what you're capable of. The galaxy needs that strength again. I need it. Together we can finish what you started. Together we can bring order from chaos. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not becoming Vader again. You don't understand. The Jedi failed us both. They feared our power. They tried to control us. You remember this. You remember their arrogance, their blindness. Join me. Help me destroy them once and for all. The bond breaks abruptly and Rey staggers, gasping. Luke is beside her immediately. What happened? He knows. Kylo knows what I am. And he's obsessed. He worshipped Vader his entire life, and now he thinks Vader has returned for him. Luke, he's not going to let this go. Of course he won't. Ben was always fixated on my father. He saw Vader as what he should have been. Strong, decisive, unafraid. He never understood the cost. Never understood the pain and emptiness that came with that power. We need to prepare. If Ben knows, the First Order will know soon. And they'll use it. They'll come for you. They don't have time to prepare because the next day, a First Order fleet appears in Achto's sky like a swarm of metal insects blotting out the sun. Shuttles descend through the atmosphere, their engines screaming, and First Order troops storm the island with military precision. Stormtroopers in white armor swarm over the ancient Jedi temple structures, while officers bark orders and heavy weapons emplacements are set up on the high ground. The caretakers, the native amphibious creatures who maintain the island, flee to their underground grottos. Luke and Rey stand ready, lightsabers ignited. Luke's green blade and Rey's blue one casting colored light across their determined faces. The troops form a perimeter but don't attack. They're waiting. Then Kylo Ren arrives. His shuttle lands with a hydraulic hiss and the ramp descends. He walks down it slowly, deliberately, his Knights of Ren flanking him like dark shadows. But something is different. His mask is gone, his face is bare, and she can see tears streaming down his cheeks. He dismisses his soldiers with a sharp gesture. They fall back immediately, creating a wide circle around the three Force users. This is between them. Kylo stares at Rey and his expression is one of desperate longing mixed with barely contained rage. You're real. All this time I thought you were gone, lost. But you came back. You came back and you didn't even try to find me. I didn't come back for you, Ben. I didn't come back at all. This just happened, and I'm not Darth Vader anymore. I'm trying to be better than he was. No. His voice cracks. You don't understand. You saw the truth. The Jedi failed us. They failed you. They failed me. You remember their hypocrisy, their fear of emotion, their arrogance in thinking they alone understood the Force. You know this, grandfather. You lived it. Together we can finish what you started. We can tear down the false Jedi Order and build something new. We can bring order to the chaos. Don't you see? This is destiny. You returned because the galaxy needs you. Needs us. I remember starting that path, and I remember where it led. To ashes and regret. To everyone I loved, dead or broken. To becoming a slave to Palpatine for decades. To watching the galaxy suffer under the Empire's tyranny. Don't make the same mistakes I did, Ben. You don't get to lecture me. Kylo's voice rises. You don't get to pretend you're better now just because you're wearing a different face. You are Darth Vader. You are my grandfather, and you will help me finish what you started. Never. I lived that life once. I won't live it again. His face twists with rage, and he attacks without warning. The duel is immediately brutal. Kylo fights with passion and anger, exactly like Anakin once did. His strikes powerful, but undisciplined. And Rey counters with refined technique, using decades of experience to predict his moves before he makes them. Their lightsabers crash together, sending sparks flying into the misty air. The sound of plasma on plasma echoes across the island. You can't deny what you are. Kylo presses forward, his attacks relentless. I feel the darkness in you. I see Vader in every movement. I remember being you. I remember killing your father, Han Solo. I remember him falling into that pit. And I remember the regret that followed. The emptiness. Is that really what you want? To repeat my mistakes? To become the monster I became? I don't care about your mistakes. I care about your strength. You were the chosen one. You brought balance to the Force. You killed the Emperor. Yes, and it cost me everything. My wife, my children, my body, my soul. I spent 20 years as a slave to Palpatine's will. 20 years doing things that still make me sick to remember. Is that what you want, Ben? To be a slave pretending to be powerful? He hesitates for just a moment, doubt flickering across his face. And Rey seizes the opening. She disarms him with a precise strike that sends his lightsaber flying through the air. It lands meters away, smoking in the wet grass. Then she does something Anakin never would have done. Something Vader never could have done. She deactivates her own weapon. I'm not going to fight you, Ben. I've already lived a life of violence and anger. I've already walked the path you're on. And I'm telling you, it leads nowhere good. I won't do it again. I won't become that person again. Kylo stares at her in shock. His hand trembles as he reaches out through the Force and pulls his weapon back to his hand. He ignites it, and the unstable blade crackles with barely contained energy. Then you're a fool. The Kylo Ren I was is dead. There is only the darkness now. But before he can strike, Luke intervenes. His blade catches Kylo's inches from Rey's head. The impact sends a shockwave rippling outward. Run, Rey. Get back to the Falcon and get out of here. I'll hold him. No, I won't abandon you like I abandoned everyone else. Like I abandoned Obi-Wan on Mustafar. Like I abandoned Ahsoka. Like I abandoned everyone who tried to save me. This isn't abandonment. Luke grunts as he pushes Kylo's blade aside. This is trust. Trust that you'll make better choices than he did. Trust that you'll do what needs to be done. Now go. The force of his command is undeniable. Rey runs. Behind her, she hears the clash of lightsabers as Luke and Kylo duel. She can feel their battle through the Force, their power colliding again and again. She reaches the clearing where the Millennium Falcon is hidden and fires up the engines. The ship lifts off just as explosions rock the island behind her. But guilt tears at her heart. She left Luke, just like Anakin left Obi-Wan to burn on Mustafar. The parallel is too close, too painful. She tells herself it's different this time, that Luke told her to go, that she's not running from responsibility, but following orders. But the voice in her head that sounds like Anakin whispers that she's a coward, that she's abandoning the people who need her, that she'll always be alone because she's too afraid to stay and fight. The voice is cruel and cutting and sounds exactly like Palpatine's manipulation. She forces herself to ignore it as she jumps to hyperspace. She returns to the Resistance base on Dakar with her ship's sensors screaming proximity warnings. The base is in chaos. Ships are launching and landing constantly. People are running everywhere. Something has happened. Something big. Finn meets her at the landing pad and his expression is grave. Rey, thank the Force you're back. We have a problem. A big problem. What happened? Is it the First Order? Are they attacking? No, it's you. Or rather, it's what Kylo Ren broadcast to the entire galaxy. He pulls out a datapad and shows her. On the screen is a holographic recording playing on loop across every news channel, every HoloNet node, every public display in civilized space. Kylo Ren stands before a camera, his face intense. People of the galaxy, I come to you with a revelation that will shake the foundations of everything you thought you knew. The girl called Rey, the one the Resistance harbors, is not who she appears to be. She is Anakin Skywalker reborn. She is Darth Vader returned. The Chosen One has come back to finish what he started. The Sith Lord who brought order to a chaotic galaxy has returned to complete his mission. Rey watches in horror as Kylo continues. Some of you will fear this, but you should not. Darth Vader was not a monster. He was a hero who understood that true order requires strength, that peace requires power, that chaos must be met with decisive action. He saw the corruption of the old Republic and acted to destroy it. He saw the weakness of the Jedi and eliminated them. Now he has returned to finish that work, and I call upon him. Join me, Grandfather. Together we will bring true order to the galaxy. The broadcast ends and Rey feels sick. Kylo has told everyone. The entire galaxy knows what she is. The datapad shows reaction footage. News commentators debating whether this is real or propaganda. Republic senators calling for her arrest. Imperial remnant groups celebrating Vader's return. Civilians terrified that the monster from their nightmares has come back. The HoloNet is on fire with speculation and fear and anger. How bad is it? Rey's voice is barely a whisper. Bad. The Resistance is in turmoil. Some people want you arrested. Others want you executed. A lot of folks lost family to the Empire and they're not interested in second chances. Poe's trying to keep everyone calm, but it's not working. And that's not even mentioning the galactic response. The New Republic Senate is demanding your extradition for war crimes. The First Order is using you as proof that they're the rightful continuation of Vader's work. Half the galaxy wants you dead, and the other half wants to use you. This is a disaster. Rey walks through the base and feels the eyes on her. People stare, some with fear, some with anger, some with barely concealed hatred. She overhears conversations as she passes. That's her. That's the Sith Lord. How can they let her walk around free? My parents died when the Empire destroyed their colony, and now they want us to just accept her? She murdered billions. She tortured prisoners. She hunted Jedi. And we're supposed to believe she's different now? Just because she says so? I don't care what the general says. That's Vader wearing a girl's face. Rey walks faster, trying to escape the stares and whispers, but there's nowhere to go. The Resistance base is small and cramped. Everyone knows who she is now. She can't hide from the hatred. She passes a group of mechanics and they fall silent, watching her with hard eyes. One of them spits on the ground as she passes. A pilot she helped rescue from a First Order prison transport refuses to look at her, his jaw clenched tight. She recognizes him from Anakin's memories. His parents were on Alderaan. She saved him yesterday, but he lost his entire family to the Empire decades ago. How can she expect forgiveness for that? She finds a quiet corner of the hangar and sits down, her head in her hands. The weight of Anakin's crimes presses down on her like a physical thing. Every person she passes is someone who lost something to the Empire, to Vader, to her. How is she supposed to live with this? Finn finds her there an hour later. Hey, you okay? No, Rey doesn't look up. How can I be okay? Everyone here hates me, and they have every right to. I remember destroying their worlds, killing their families, hunting their friends. How am I supposed to just walk around like none of that happened? You didn't do those things. Anakin did. You're different. Am I? Because it doesn't feel different. I have his memories, his instincts, his anger. When that pilot spat at me, my first instinct was to force choke him. I had to physically restrain myself. That's Vader's instinct. That's who I am underneath. No, that's who Anakin became. But you're choosing not to act on those instincts. That's what makes you different. Choice. Finn sits beside her. Look, I'm not going to pretend this is easy. People are scared. They're angry. They have every right to be. But you're also the person who helped us escape the First Order, who fought beside us on Starkiller Base, who's trying to make things right. That counts for something, does it? Rey finally looks at him. Does it really count when I have lifetimes of death on my conscience? When I close my eyes, I see the people Vader killed. I see their faces. I hear their screams. How many good deeds does it take to balance that scale? Maybe you can't balance it. Maybe you just have to live with it and try to be better. That's all any of us can do. Before Rey can respond, Poe approaches. His face is hard, his usual easy charm completely gone. His jaw is set and his eyes are cold. Is it true? Are you really him? Are you really Darth Vader? I have his memories, his connection to the Force, but I'm trying to be different. Trying. Poe's voice is sharp, cutting. Trying isn't good enough. Do you understand what Vader did? What you did? My mother fought against the Empire on Yavin 4. She was a pilot, one of the best. She barely survived when her cell was infiltrated by Imperial intelligence. Most of her squadron was killed in the purge that followed. Vader himself led that purge. Vader personally executed 3 of her closest friends. She watched them die. She had nightmares about it until the day she died. And now you're here asking us to just trust you? I understand your anger. Rey forces herself to meet his eyes even though it hurts. I remember that mission. I remember hunting rebel cells on Yavin 4. I remember the interrogations, the executions. I remember thinking I was bringing order, that I was preventing chaos. I was wrong. I was so wrong, and I'm horrified by what I did. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm trying to make different choices, trying to honor the sacrifice Anakin made when he killed the Emperor. How do we know that? Poe steps closer, his voice rising. How do we know you won't turn on us the second things get hard? How do we know the First Order isn't right, and you're just waiting for the right moment to rejoin them? How do we know this isn't all an elaborate plan? What if Palpatine sent you? What if this is all part of some long game we don't understand? You don't. You have to trust me. Trust you? Poe laughs bitterly. Vader earned that name through decades of atrocities, decades of hunting people like my mother, decades of serving an empire that murdered trillions. And you want us to just forget that? To pretend it never happened because you say you're different now? No, I don't want you to forget. I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to watch me and judge me by my actions, not by Anakin's past. But I'm asking for a chance to prove I'm not him anymore. A chance to show that people can change, that redemption is possible. My mother used to say that too. Poe's voice drops. She said everyone deserves a chance at redemption, even the Empire's monsters. But you know what? She never got to see it. She died still having nightmares about the people Vader killed. So forgive me if I'm not ready to just hand you a second chance because you asked nicely. Rey feels tears burning in her eyes, but she doesn't look away. I understand, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't bring them back. Poe turns to leave, then stops. But I'll be watching you. We all will be. One wrong move, one hint that you're falling back into old patterns, and I'll put you down myself. Understood? Understood. The hangar falls silent after Poe leaves. Finn puts a hand on Rey's shoulder. He'll come around. Give him time, maybe. Or maybe he's right not to trust me. Maybe none of them should. The conversation is interrupted by alarms blaring across the base. Klaxons wail and red lights flash. Multiple ships are approaching on the sensors. Not First Order. These are resistance ships broadcasting friendly identification codes, reinforcements from systems that heard about the attack on Achto. But when they land, the atmosphere is tense. The troops that emerge have weapons ready, and they're not pointed at the sky. They're pointed at Rey. An older woman steps forward, her uniform identifying her as Admiral Statura. She's a veteran of the rebellion, her chest decorated with medals from battles against the Empire. She has hard eyes and a face carved from stone. Her entire squadron was killed at Endor, killed by TIE fighters flying in formations Vader perfected. Rey of Jakku, also known as Anakin Skywalker, also known as Darth Vader, by the authority of the Resistance High Command and by emergency decree of the New Republic Senate, you are under arrest for war crimes committed during your time as the Emperor's enforcer. You will be remanded to Republic custody to stand trial for crimes against sentient beings. On what charges? Rey's voice is steady even though her hands are shaking. She won't run. She won't fight. That's what Vader would do. On charges of genocide against the people of Alderaan. On charges of torture of Republic officials, including Senator Leia Organa and Commander Luke Skywalker. On charges of murder of Jedi Masters Obi-Wan Kenobi and numerous other Jedi during the Purge. On charges of conspiracy to overthrow the legitimate Galactic Republic. On charges of crimes against the people of Bespin, Hoth, Jedha, Scarif, Lothal, and approximately 400 other worlds. The specific list will be provided to you once you're in custody. The preliminary indictment is 7,416 pages long. Will you come peacefully, or do we need to use force? Rey looks at the dozens of weapons pointed at her. Blasters, stun weapons, even a few soldiers with force pikes designed specifically for killing force users. She could fight. Anakin's instincts scream at her to fight. She has the power. She could cut through these troops like paper. She could escape, take a ship, disappear into the Outer Rim. But that's what Vader would do. That's what Anakin... We're about to embark on the most dangerous mission this resistance has ever attempted. We're going to the heart of the Sith, to face an enemy who has survived for decades through Sith alchemy and dark side power. An enemy who has manipulated galactic events from the shadows. Many of you won't come back. She pauses, letting that sink in. But if we don't do this, if we don't face Palpatine now, the galaxy will never be free. He'll continue to manipulate, continue to create wars, continue to spread suffering. This ends now, with us. With this mission, may the Force be with us all. The crowd erupts in determined cheers. Rey stands to the side, watching. She catches Poe's eye and he nods at her. Not friendly exactly, but acknowledging, a sign that he's willing to follow her into this, even if he doesn't fully trust her yet. That's something. The day of departure arrives with ominous red skies over Dakar, as if the planet itself knows what's coming. A small fleet has been assembled in orbit, not an armada like the Republic would have fielded in the old days. The Resistance doesn't have those resources, but enough ships to hopefully make a difference. 12 capital ships, 37 fighters, 6 bombers. It's not much against what they're about to face, but it's everything they have. Rey boards the Millennium Falcon with Finn, Poe, and Chewie. The ship feels heavy with history and ghosts. She can feel Anakin's memories stirring. He knew this ship. Flew it once, hunted it across the galaxy. Now she's using it to fight the man who made Anakin into a monster. Leia sees them off from the hangar, her face grave but determined. She pulls Rey aside for a private word. My father saved Luke at the end. Threw the Emperor down the shaft and broke the Sith's hold on the galaxy. For decades we thought that was enough, that Palpatine was truly dead. Now we know different. She takes Rey's hands. You have a chance to finish what Anakin started, to truly end the Sith. But Rey, remember this. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to sacrifice yourself like he did. You have people who care about you. Let them help. I will. I promise. May the Force be with you, Rey. Always. Rey swallows hard. And with you. Always. The fleet jumps to hyperspace together, a coordinated leap into the unknown. The journey to Exegol takes hours of careful navigation through hyperspace. They follow coordinates that seem impossible, routes that twist through regions of space that should tear ships apart. The Falcon sensors scream warnings constantly, gravity wells where there shouldn't be any, hyperspace anomalies that could trap them forever, ancient Sith technology warping space itself. Poe wrestles with the controls, his knuckles white. This is insane. These routes shouldn't exist. No wonder no one's ever found this place. The Sith wanted it hidden. Rey's voice is distant. She's meditating in the co-pilot seat, using the Force to guide them. I can feel Palpatine's presence getting stronger. We're close. Through the Force, she can sense other presences too. The Sith Eternal cultists who serve Palpatine. And Kylo, he's there. Already on Exegol, waiting. She reaches out through their bond cautiously. He's in the throne room with Palpatine standing silently as the Emperor rants about destiny and the return of the Sith. She can feel Kylo's confusion, his doubt. He's questioning whether this is really what he wants, but he hasn't acted on those doubts yet. Finally, after 6 hours of navigation that feel like days, they emerge from hyperspace. And there it is, Exegol. The planet hangs in space like a wound in reality. Dark, stormy, wrong. The sky is blood red with constant lightning arcing between massive storm clouds. The surface is covered in ancient Sith structures, temples and fortresses that have stood for millennia. And in orbit, Rey can see them. Ships, hundreds of them, no, thousands. A fleet larger than anything the Resistance has faced. Star destroyers lined up in perfect formation, each one equipped with planet-killing weapons. The Sith Eternal Fleet, Palpatine's final contingency. By the Force. Poe's voice is barely a whisper. We can't fight that. We can't even dent that. We're not here to fight the fleet. Rey's voice is steady even though fear grips her heart. We're here for Palpatine. If we kill him, the fleet won't matter. They'll have no one to command them. The fleet begins its descent toward the surface, and immediately they come under attack. Not from the Star Destroyers in orbit, from the ground. Massive guns fire from Sith temple batteries, ancient weapons that still pack devastating firepower. Turbo laser fire rips through the sky. Ion cannons disable shield systems. The battle becomes immediate and chaotic. Rey watches through the viewport as Resistance ships explode, their shields overloaded by ancient but powerful weapons. A bomber takes a direct hit and disintegrates. 2 fighters collide trying to evade ground fire. This is a massacre. We need to land. Now, find me a clear spot before we lose more people. Poe wrestles with the controls as the Falcon shakes from near misses. Alarms scream. Systems fail. There, that courtyard between the temples. It's tight, but I can make it. Hold on, this is gonna be rough. I hate your flying. Finn grips his restraints. You always say that, because it's always true. The landing is more of a controlled crash. The Falcon comes in too fast, too steep. Poe tries to compensate, but there's not enough room. The ship slams into ancient stone pavement, skidding sideways. Sparks fly. Metal screams. They hit a wall with a sickening crunch and finally stop. Smoke fills the cockpit. Alarms blare everywhere. Everyone okay? Rey coughs, unbuckling her restraints. Finn groans from the floor where he was thrown despite the restraints. Define okay. My entire body hurts. Chewie roars in frustration and pain. One of his bandoliers caught fire, and he's patting it out. Poe checks the systems, and his face goes pale. We're not flying out of here. Not without major repairs. The hyperdrive is completely shot. Landing gear is destroyed. Half the systems are offline. We're grounded. Then we go on foot. Rey stands, igniting her lightsaber. The blue blade casts strange shadows in the smoky cockpit. We find Palpatine. We end this. One way or another, today this ends. The words sound more confident than she feels. They emerge from the Falcon into a nightmare landscape, and Rey immediately understands why the Sith chose this place. The day of departure arrives. A small fleet has been assembled. Not an armada. The Resistance doesn't have those resources, but enough ships to hopefully make a difference. Rey boards the Falcon with Finn, Poe, and Chewie. Leia sees them off from the hangar. May the Force be with you, always. Rey forces a smile. And with you. The fleet jumps to hyperspace, and the journey to Exegol begins. It takes hours of navigation through treacherous space, following coordinates that should be impossible. But eventually they arrive. The planet hangs in space like a wound, dark, stormy, wrong. The sky is red with constant lightning, and the surface is covered in ancient Sith structures. This is where Palpatine has been hiding, where he's been rebuilding, where he's been waiting for Rey. The fleet descends and immediately comes under attack. Not from ships, from the ground. Massive guns fire on them from Sith temple batteries. The battle is immediate and chaotic. Rey watches through the viewport as Resistance ships explode, their shields overloaded by ancient but powerful weapons. We need to land. Now, find me a clear spot. Poe wrestles with the controls as the Falcon shakes from near misses. There. That courtyard. Hold on! This is gonna be rough! The landing is more of a controlled crash. The Falcon skids across ancient stone, tearing up pavement before slamming into a wall. Alarms blare. Smoke fills the cockpit. Everyone okay? Rey coughs. Finn groans from the floor. Define okay. Chewie roars in frustration. Poe checks the systems. We're not flying out of here. Not without major repairs. Then we go on foot. Find Palpatine. End this. They emerge from the Falcon into a nightmare landscape. Lightning arcs across blood-red sky. Ancient statues of Sith Lords loom everywhere. And in the distance, a massive temple structure pulses with dark side energy. That's where he is. I can feel him. Then let's go finish this. The group makes their way through the ruins. They encounter Sith cultists, red-robed figures chanting in ancient languages. Brief firefights erupt. Poe and Finn handle the cultists while Rey and Chewie push forward. The dark side presses down on Rey like a physical weight. She can feel Palpatine's presence growing stronger with each step. And she can feel something else. Through the Force bond, Kylo is here. He's already inside, waiting. They reach the temple entrance. Massive doors that look like they haven't been opened in centuries, but they swing wide at Rey's approach. She turns to her friends. I have to go in alone, like hell. Finn raises his blaster. We're not letting you face him alone. You have to. This is between me and him. Between Anakin and Palpatine. This is how it has to end. Rey. Poe's voice is serious. If you go in there alone, you might not come out. I know, but if I don't, none of us come out. She steps through the doors before they can argue further. They slam shut behind her with terrible finality. The throne room is vast and dark. Lightning from outside casts flickering shadows. And there on the throne, sustained by dark machinery and Sith alchemy, sits Palpatine. He looks ancient and broken, but his eyes burn with malevolent intelligence. And his presence in the Force is overwhelming. Welcome home, my young apprentice. His voice is a raspy whisper that somehow fills the entire chamber. Or, should I say, my old apprentice. Did you really think your rebirth was an accident? Did you Lightsabers forming a barrier against Palpatine's lightning. The dark side and light side crash together in the throne room, energy crackling and arcing everywhere. Palpatine pours more power into his attack, but Rey doesn't break. She draws on the Force, not just her own power, but the strength of every Jedi who came before, the collective will of the light side. And she pushes back. The lightning begins to reverse. Palpatine's eyes widen in shock. This isn't possible. I am all the Sith. And Rey's voice rings with certainty. Am all the Jedi. But more than that, I am Anakin Skywalker reborn. And this time I choose the light. The lightning reverses completely, slamming into Palpatine. He screams as his own power consumes him. His body begins to disintegrate, his essence torn apart by the very darkness he wielded. No, this cannot be. I am eternal. Nothing is eternal. Rey's voice is sad. Not even you. The final blast destroys Palpatine completely. His body crumbles to ash. His spirit shreds into the Force, unable to reform, unable to transfer. This time he's truly dead. The throne room falls silent. Above them, in the fleet battle, the Sith eternal forces falter without their master's guidance. Ships begin retreating or surrendering. The battle is over. But victory comes at a cost. Rey turns to Kylo and sees him collapsing. She catches him before he hits the ground. No, not like this. We won. You're supposed to live now. He smiles weakly. It's okay, grandfather. I understand now. This is how it was always meant to be. A Skywalker sacrificing himself to destroy the Sith. Your path, my path, both leading here. You were supposed to have more time. Tears stream down Rey's face. To live, to be free, to be Ben Solo again. I am free, finally. He reaches up and touches her face. Thank you. Thank you for showing me the way. For not giving up on me. For believing I could be better. His hand falls and he fades into the Force. Rey holds his body and sobs. She saved the galaxy but lost him. Another person dead because of the Skywalker legacy. Another sacrifice on the altar of defeating the Sith. She wants to scream, wants to rage, but she doesn't, because that's what the dark side wants. Instead, she grieves. She lets herself feel the loss without letting it consume her. And that, more than anything, proves she's not Vader anymore. The Resistance wins. With Palpatine destroyed and the Sith eternal forces scattered, the First Order crumbles. Across the galaxy, planets celebrate. The Empire's last remnant is finally gone. The war is over. Rey returns to the Resistance base and Leia is waiting. She already knows. She felt Ben's passing through the Force. But instead of grief, there's peace on her face. He found his way back at the end. Redemption, just like his grandfather. Because of you. You showed him there was another way. I couldn't save him. Rey's voice breaks. I had all this power, all this knowledge, and I still couldn't save him. You saved his soul. Leia pulls Rey into a hug. That's more important than saving his body. You gave him the chance to choose the light. To die as Ben Solo instead of living as Kylo Ren. That's the greatest gift you could have given him. Or me. In the days that follow, Rey begins to find her place in this galaxy. She helps rebuild worlds devastated by the war. She trains new Force users. People discovered across the galaxy who need guidance and understanding. Young children who hear voices in their heads. Teenagers who can move objects with their minds. Adults who suddenly discovered abilities they never knew they had. All of them frightened, all of them needing someone to teach them. But she does it differently than the old Jedi Order. She remembers their failures with painful clarity. Their rigidity that allowed no room for human emotion. Their fear of attachment that drove so many Jedi into loneliness. Their insistence that feeling love or anger meant you were weak or corrupted. Their belief that attachment leads to suffering when really it was the fear of loss that caused the fall. She teaches balance instead of suppression. She teaches her students to acknowledge all their feelings, light and dark, without letting either consume them. To feel anger without acting on it violently. To feel fear without being paralyzed by it. To love without becoming possessive or controlling. She uses Anakin's memories as cautionary tales, making sure every student understands the cost of giving in to fear and anger and the desperate need to control everything, but also teaching them that feeling those emotions isn't wrong. That being human means experiencing the full range of feelings. Acting on them in harmful ways is the problem. Denying they exist only makes them stronger. Her first student is a young girl from Jakku, found living in the same AT-AT walker Rey once called home. The girl has dreams too, visions of the past. Rey teaches her that the Force connects all things, past and present, and that seeing the past doesn't mean you're doomed to repeat it. Her second student is a former stormtrooper who deserted after discovering he could sense when his squad mates were about to die. Rey teaches him that his empathy is a gift, not a curse. That feeling others' pain doesn't make you weak. It makes you compassionate. Slowly, carefully, she's creating something new. Not quite the old Jedi Order with its rigid rules. Not quite something else entirely. a middle path that honors the past while learning from its mistakes. A way of using the Force that acknowledges both light and dark, that accepts human emotion as natural and necessary, that teaches wisdom through balance rather than through suppression. She names it simply the Path of Balance. Months pass and the galaxy slowly heals. The New Republic stabilizes under new leadership that learned from the failures of the old. Resistance heroes are celebrated in parades and ceremonies. War memorials are built, peace treaties are signed, and Rey finds herself with time to think, to process everything that's happened, to figure out who she really is now that the immediate threats are gone. One day she stands on Tatooine under that familiar harsh sun. She's come to bury Luke and Leia's lightsabers in the sand near the Lars homestead where it all began. Where Anakin was born a slave, where Shmi died, where Luke grew up dreaming of adventure, the circle completing after all these years. An old woman approaches as Rey finishes burying the sabers, marking the spot with stones. "Who are you?" Rey pauses. It's the same question Luke asked her what feels like a lifetime ago. The same question she's been asking herself since she remembered being Anakin. She thinks about that question for a long moment, about identity and legacy and choice, about whether we're defined by our past or our actions, about whether someone can truly change or if we're doomed to repeat our mistakes, about what it means to carry someone else's memories while still being yourself. And she realizes she finally has an answer. I'm Rey Skywalker. Not because she's claiming a name that isn't hers, not because she's trying to erase her past or pretend to be someone she's not, but because she's honoring the journey. Both Anakin's journey from darkness to light and her own journey from nobody to somebody who matters. Two souls, two lives converging into one path forward. One story of redemption that spans generations. The woman nods and walks away. Rey stands alone in the binary sunset, two suns hanging low in the sky just like they did when Anakin was a child. And she feels at peace. Two figures appear beside her, Force ghosts shimmering in the fading light. Luke and Leia smiling, and beside them, finally at peace, Anakin Skywalker, not as Vader in his black armor, not as the broken man on Endor, but as the hero he could have been, as the person he was before he fell. He smiles at Rey and speaks. Thank you. For what? For giving me the chance to make different choices, for proving that even someone like me could be redeemed, for showing that the chosen one wasn't about one moment or one person. It was about the choice to keep choosing the light. You redeemed yourself on Endor, but this wasn't for you. This was for me. Anakin shakes his head gently. This is your life now, not mine. You carry my memories, but you're not me. You're better, stronger, wiser. You learned from my mistakes without having to make them yourself. That's the gift the Force gave you. Live it well. Make the choices I couldn't. Love without fear. Fight without hate. And never ever give up on the possibility that people can change. I will, I promise. The ghosts begin to fade. As they do, Anakin speaks one last time. The Force is with you, Rey. Always. Then they're gone. Rey stands alone on Tatooine, the same planet where Anakin Skywalker's story began so long ago. But this isn't an ending. It's a beginning. She's no longer haunted by the past, no longer terrified of becoming Vader, no longer torn between two identities. She's Rey, she's herself, and she's free. She turns away from the homestead and walks toward her ship. Toward the future, toward whatever comes next. The binary suns set behind her, casting long shadows across the sand. But ahead, the stars are beginning to shine. The Force is balanced. The Sith are destroyed. And Rey Skywalker walks into her future, finally at peace with her past, ready to create something new, something better, something that honors both the light and the lessons learned from darkness. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.